I'd like you to get a little more enthusiastic when managers like CERN and others say, this is why we're here, this is what we do. And hopefully not meet the normal reaction from cynical, intelligent people like yourself. Can that really be true? What is that really about? I know it sounds American. I know lots of you will be sitting there saying, oh gosh, sounds like another one of those American trainers, but it does matter. So I'd invite you into that journey. I'm going to talk about why change initiatives fail, which is a pretty negative thing to do, but it tends to get an audience because people like to hear bad news. It's psychological. Tell me why this ain't going to work. I don't know whether that leads to us actually getting it right. I do have a certain suspicion that it does. I think we need to be aware of these things. But I hope that my point about speaking about purpose is that's actually one of the ingredients of being successful, is being willing to take the chance of saying, hey, I want to make things a little bit better. And I've got an idea of what that is. So that's part of that. So let me ask you guys a question. I thought I'd start with a quiz. I'm surrounded by problem solvers, people who I'd like you to understand what is the connection between these two photos. Now, I've got a photo here of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I have a peregrine falcon on the other side, right? Now, this has something to do with change and transformation. It's a bit abstract and obscure, and I'm a bit weird, but I will give a Mars bar for somebody who can get the correct connection between these two. Talk to your neighbour. What is the connection? So turn to your neighbour and say, what is the connection between these two things? Talk, talk, talk. What is it? Who wants to be a millionaire and a peregrine falcon? That's weird. What is that? There's a bonus prize for the person who can guess the English language expression which is captured in these two pictures. Oh, here we go. All right, what's your guess?
They both have a goal.
Okay. They both have a goal, absolutely. This one is for catching, rabbits and animals and things like that, and he's trying to win $1 million. Yes. Let's try. There's another connection I'm looking for, and there's an English expression at the back of this, which helps us understand the difficulty of change. Yeah?
They can't see.
You do remove those things before you let go of the bird. All right, I might give a Mars bar for that one, actually. I quite like that. A little similar. Anyway, one more try. Who's got a shot? There's a Mars bar at stake here. Or honour. Well, the research into the people who are on this program is they always leave earlier than going to the end. In other words, they will always tend to leave at about the 50,000, 60,000 crown level and not go all the way. Why? Humans are risk averse. They very rapidly reach a point where what they've got, the risk of losing what they've got, is far more substantial than the potential of earning considerably more on the other side. And that's how we are. And the expression, of course, is a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. How does this work it's an expression from the 15th, 16th century, and I didn't realize this, but it's an obscure reference to this, what they call falconing, which is you hunt with it. So in other words, if you lose your bird, you lose that ability to hunt even further. There's another one which is called a living dog is better than a dead lion, which is a more Middle Eastern way of saying it. So historically, people are risk averse. So that leads to this particular point. And when you're working with an organization, and why I thought of you guys with this particular one was, you're almost 75 years old. Almost. You've got everything to lose. You're famous. Your business card opens doors around the world. You've kind of been there, done that. So the question is, how does this particular quote relate to you guys? And this is the research, of course. If you look into studies of risk-taking, it's quite clear the vast majority of people give up in those programs before getting on. Anyway, I'm Chief Transformational Officer at Global Mindset. This is what I do. I've been spending the last, 20 years in Danish global organizations trying to bring about change. And that can be many types. I think since the global financial crisis, there have been two types. Save a shitload of money quickly, and now it's grow as quickly as possible. Now the problem is, after the global financial crisis, everyone got really good at saving money. Really good. But it made it very difficult to then switch into a growth path. They're two fundamentally different mindsets. One's about managing, in other words, we're controlling costs, we're managing how it does. The other one is leading. It's much more risk-taking involved in growth. That's a difficult mindset to shift. So you're not the only organisation struggling with that. So yeah, we do leadership-driven change. And when the leaders that come on our programs are working with, is it, I don't know whether just training more skills helps. When we look at, and I'm going to talk a little bit about complexity theory and how the brain works, what we realise is that, particularly with leadership development, if you want to really improve and be better at influencing and creating leadership and being successful, it's not about a few more skills. They don't actually help you very much. What we have to look at is how can we shift your mindset? And I want to talk a little bit later what I mean by that. And I call this, for you scientific people, it's not about more software, it's about an upgrade in the operating system.